Listen to me carefully. Laziness is not harmless. Laziness is a silent killer. It robs you of your time, your dreams, your potential, and your destiny. Every time you choose comfort over discipline, every time you hit snooze instead of getting up, every time you say, I'll do it tomorrow, you are burying your future. But here's the truth. Your future doesn't care about your excuses. Your success doesn't care about your feelings. Your dreams don't care if you're tired, unmotivated, or afraid. The world rewards action. And if you want to change your life, you must stop being lazy and start building your future. Right now, let me tell you something that can change the way you see yourself forever. Laziness is not who you are. Laziness is not your identity. It's not your DNA, and it's not your destiny. It's simply a habit you've built over time. And the good news is, habits can be broken, reprogrammed, and replaced. Think about it. When you were a child, you weren't lazy. You were curious, full of energy, always moving, always exploring. Somewhere along the way, you got comfortable. Somewhere along the way, you started choosing easy instead of a necessary. And without realizing it, you trained yourself to settle. That's all laziness, is training gone wrong. But if you trained yourself into it, you can train yourself out of it. Let's be brutally honest here. Laziness feels good in the moment. It's a short-term high. The snooze button feels good. Watching endless videos feels good. Scrolling for hours feels good. But afterward, feels good. But afterward, you're left with regret, self-doubt, guilt, and wasted time. The pleasure disappears, but the pain stays. Now flip that around. Discipline doesn't feel good in the moment. Waking up early doesn't feel good. Saying no to comfort doesn't feel good. Saying no to comfort. Putting in the work when you're tired doesn't feel good. But afterward, you're left with pride, growth, progress, and momentum. The pain disappears, but the rewards stay. Do you see the pattern? Laziness pays you now and punishes you later. Discipline punishes you now and pays you later. The question is, which life do you want? Here's the truth. Your brain doesn't care what you want. It only cares about what you repeat. If you repeat laziness, your brain makes it easy to be lazy. If you repeat discipline, your brain makes it natural to be disciplined. Your life today is nothing more than the sum of the habits you've practiced. And here's where the power lies. You don't need to change everything overnight. You just need to take control of one small action. Because once you start, momentum builds. Laziness is strong in the beginning, but discipline grows stronger with every repetition. Start small. Don't try to change your entire life in one day. That's why most people fail. Instead, pick one action you can commit to daily. Wake up 30 minutes earlier. Go for a 10-minute walk. Go for a 10-minute walk. Write for 15 minutes. Read 5 pages. Make it so simple you can't say no. And then repeat. Why? Because repetition builds identity. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you are casting a vote for the person you want to become. Do it once, and it's just an action. Do it daily, and it's a lifestyle. That's how you kill laziness. Not through willpower alone, but by designing habits that make success automatic. Think of your life as a garden. Laziness is the weed that grows when you neglect it. Discipline is the seed you plant and water daily. If you stop feeding laziness, it dies. If you nurture discipline, it thrives. The harvest you get in the future depends on what you plant today. And remember this, laziness doesn't care about your dreams. It doesn't care about your potential. It only cares about keeping you comfortable in the moment. But comfort is a liar. Comfort tells you you're safe when in reality you're stuck. The question is, are you going to live your life as a slave to comfort? Or are you going to retrain yourself to rise, to push, to fight for the life you deserve? Laziness is not your identity. It's not your destiny. It's just a bad habit. And you have the power to break it, starting today. Excuses. We all have them. They sound different for everyone, but at the core, they are the same poison. I don't have enough time. I'm too tired. I'll start tomorrow. I'm waiting for the right moment. Let me tell you something. There is no perfect moment. There never will be. Life doesn't stop and roll out a red carpet for you to chase your dreams. The right time is a myth. The only time you have is now. Excuses are comfortable lies we tell ourselves to avoid the discomfort of responsibility. They give us permission to stay the same. They give us a false sense of relief, because for a moment they take the weight of action off our shoulders. But here's the reality. Excuses don't build futures. Action does. Look at the most successful people in the world. Do you think they didn't have excuses? Of course they did. They had families, problems, setbacks, self-doubt, failures, and days when they wanted to quit. But they didn't let excuses run their lives. They acted anyway. They moved forward when it was inconvenient, when it was painful, when it was uncomfortable. Excuses are the language of mediocrity. Action is the language of success. And here's the truth that might sting a little. Every time you choose an excuse, you're making a deal with your future. You're trading progress for comfort. You're saying, my dreams can wait. My goals can wait. My future self can suffer so that I can feel better right now. And guess what? That future version of you will hate you for it. They will wake up in 5 years, stuck in the same place, and look back wondering why you wasted so much time. But imagine the opposite. Imagine that same future self looking back and thanking you for starting even when you were scared, thanking you for showing up even when you were tired, thanking you for refusing to let excuses run your life. That's the power of action. Excuses are built on fear of failure, fear of discomfort, fear of judgment. But fear is an illusion. Action destroys fear. The second you move, the second you do something, that fear starts to shrink, and the more you act, the stronger you become. Here's the difference. Lazy people wait for motivation. Disciplined people act their way into motivation. Stop waiting until you feel ready. Stop waiting until everything is perfect. You don't need clarity to begin. You need courage. Think about this. A person who acts on a flawed plan will always beat the person who makes excuses while waiting for the perfect plan. Why? Because movement creates progress. Progress creates learning. Learning creates growth. And growth creates success. So how do you break free from excuses? You make action your default. The moment you hear yourself saying, I'll do it later, flip it until I'll do it now. The moment you think, I don't feel like it, remind yourself that feelings don't build empires, actions do. Take the first step, no matter how small. Write one page. Make one call. Do one push-up. Small action kills excuses because it builds momentum, and momentum is the enemy of laziness. At the end of your life, no one will remember your excuses. No one will say, he had such great reasons for not trying. She had the best excuses for staying the same. No, they will only remember what you built, what you created, how you lived, and who you became. So hear this clearly. Excuses are destroying your future. Action is building it. The choice is in your hands, and the choice is always now. Let's be real. Comfort feels good. Comfort feels safe. Comfort feels easy. But here's the problem. Comfort is a trap. Comfort is the slow death of ambition. Comfort is the enemy of growth. You see, your mind and body are wired for survival, not success. They are programmed to keep you safe, to avoid pain, to seek ease. That's why your brain screams at you to stay in bed instead of getting up at 5 a.m. That's why it tells you to skip the workout, to put off the project, to avoid the difficult conversation. Your brain isn't trying to make you successful. It's trying to make you comfortable. Ooh. But here's the truth. Nothing extraordinary was ever built in comfort. Growth does not happen in the comfort zone. Muscles don't grow unless you tear them in the gym. Businesses don't grow unless someone takes the risk. Leaders aren't born until someone steps into pressure and responsibility. Growth requires friction. It requires struggle. It requires discomfort. Most people spend their whole lives running from discomfort. And that's why they never grow. They trade temporary ease for lifelong regret. They think safety is happiness, but in reality, safety is stagnation. Here's the rule of life. You can choose the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. One lasts a moment, the other lasts forever. Discipline hurts when you're in the middle of it, but regret burns for a lifetime. Look back at the moments in your life when you grew the most. Were they easy? Of course not. Growth came when you were challenged, when you were stretched, when you were pushed beyond what you thought you could handle. Growth came from discomfort. The problem is, too many people worship comfort. They live for the weekend. They binge entertainment to escape reality. They eat for pleasure, not for fuel. They chase convenience in everything, and yet they wonder why their life feels empty, why their soul feels restless. It's because deep down you were never designed to live easy. You were designed to grow. The truth is this. Comfort zones are prisons and laziness is the warden. The longer you stay there, the harder it becomes to leave. But the moment you step outside, yes, it feels scary, yes, it feels hard. But that's where life begins. Think of a seed. If it stays in the comfort of the shell, it never grows. It has to break, to push, to fight through the soil, to reach for the light. And only then does it become a tree. You are no different. You have to break through your own comfort to become what you were meant to be. So how do you escape the comfort trap? You deliberately choose discomfort daily. You train yourself to seek challenge instead of avoid it. Wake up earlier than you want to. Push one more rep in the gym. Say yes to the opportunity that scares you. Have the conversation you've been avoiding. These small acts of courage build resilience. They expand your comfort zone until what once felt impossible becomes your new normal. Understand this. Growth is not supposed to feel good in the moment. It feels awkward. It feels painful. It feels exhausting. But that's the price of transformation. The butterfly doesn't emerge without the struggle of breaking the cocoon. The diamond doesn't form without pressure. And you won't become who you're meant to be without discomfort. So the next time you feel uncomfortable, don't run from it. Don't numb it. Don't it. Don't hide from it. Lean into it. Because that discomfort is a sign you're growing. That struggle is proof you're moving forward. That resistance is the very thing shaping you into your future self. Remember this, comfort will destroy your dreams. Discomfort will build them. Comfort keeps you the same. Discomfort makes you strong. And when you stop worshiping comfort and start chasing growth, you unlock the power to transform your entire life. Let's talk about the most valuable resource you will ever have in your life. Time, not money, not possessions, not connections. Time. Here's the reality. You can lose money and make it back. You can lose possessions and replace them. You can even lose opportunities and find new ones. But time, once it's gone forever. Every second that passes is a piece of your life you will never get back. That's why time is your most precious currency. And laziness is the thief that robs you of it. Look at the clock right now. Tick, tick, tick. That sound you hear, that's your life slipping away. And the brutal truth is, most people are wasting it. They waste hours scrolling on their phones. They waste days binging shows. They waste years talking about what they'll do with someday. But someday is not a day on the calendar. Someday is a fantasy, and the more you live in it, the less of a future you'll actually have. Here's a harsh fact. Your excuses may fool the people around you, but they don't fool time. Time doesn't care if you're tired. Time doesn't care if you're unmotivated. Time doesn't care if life is unfair. If life is unfair, it just keeps moving, and if you don't move with it, you get left behind. Think about this. The average human life is about 4,000 weeks. That's it. And every week you waste in laziness is a week you never get back. Do you realize how short that is? People live as if they're immortal, as if they have unlimited time, as if tomorrow is guaranteed. But it's not. The future isn't promised to anyone. You only have today. You only have this moment. And here's the beautiful thing. What you do with your time today shapes your tomorrow. Every single day is a brick, and you are either building your dream house or wasting your bricks. If you spend your time in distraction, laziness, and excuses, don't be surprised when your future collapses. But if you spend your time wisely, if you put in the effort, if you use each day to grow, then your future will be unshakable. Let's make it practical. Ask yourself, how did you spend yesterday? Did you use your time building something meaningful, or did you waste it? Because yesterday is the mirror of your tomorrow. If you don't change how you use your hours, your years will stay the same. Successful people understand this. They don't treat time casually. They guard it like treasure. They cut out distractions. They eliminate meaningless activities. They ask themselves constantly, is what I'm doing right now moving me closer to my goals or pulling me away? And if the answer is no, they stop. They redirect. They take control. Now compare that to the average person, hitting snooze, drifting through the day, reacting to everything instead of creating, saying, I'll get to it later. Later becomes never, and before they know it, years are gone. Opportunities are gone. Dreams are gone. Dreams are gone. You need to wake up to this truth. Every lazy hour you spend is stolen from your future self. Every wasted day is a day you could have invested in becoming stronger, smarter, richer, better. You can't get it back. The clock doesn't rewind. So the question is, how will you spend your time from this moment forward? Will you waste it, or will you invest it? Will you trade it for cheap comfort, or will you use it to build your legacy? Time is the great equalizer. Rich or poor, young or old, we all get the same 24 hours. Oh, the difference is how you use them. That choice is what separates winners from losers, the successful from the forgotten, the disciplined from the lazy. Never forget this. Time is your life. Guard it. Use it. Master. Because if you don't, laziness will steal it, and regret will be the only thing left. Let me ask you a serious question. When you think about your future, what do you see? Do you see yourself successful, healthy, confident, financially free, living the life you always dreamed of? Or do you see yourself stuck, stressed, tired, and filled with regret? Here's the truth. That picture you see isn't built years from now. It's being built right now. With the choices you make today, your future is not some mystery waiting to be revealed. Your future is the direct result of your daily actions. We all want success, we all want happiness, we all want freedom, but the future isn't handed to anyone. It's not luck, it's not magic, it's not fate. It's built brick by brick, choice by choice, day by day. And this is where most people get it wrong. They think the big moments shape their future, the promotion, the graduation, the opportunity. But those moments are just the result of thousands of small, invisible decisions made daily. What time you wake up, what you feed your mind, whether you work or procrastinate, whether you push through or give up. Those choices compound and they create the person you will become. Here's the law of life. Today's discipline becomes tomorrow's freedom. Today's laziness becomes tomorrow's regret. If you want to know what your future looks like, look at your daily habits. Are they building the person you want to be, or are they destroying you slowly? Imagine this. There are two versions of you. One shows up today and works hard. One skips the work, makes excuses, and chooses laziness. Fast forward 5 years. Which version of you do you want to meet? The one who sacrificed, hustled, and grew into a powerful, successful human being? Or the one who wasted years and is now living with the weight of regret? The scary thing is you're creating that future self right now. The excuses you make are a vote for failure. The action you take is a vote for success. This is why procrastination is so deadly. You think you're just putting off one task, but what you're really doing is shaping your identity. Every time you say, "I'll do it later," you're telling your future self, "I don't care about you. I'd rather feel good right now." That is the betrayal of laziness. But every time you take action, even when it's small, you're telling your future self, "I've got your back. I will not abandon you." I'm building you into something greater. That is the gift of discipline. You see, your future isn't created in years. It's created in days, in hours, in moments. If you waste today, you weaken tomorrow. If you maximize today, you strengthen tomorrow. That's the power of now. That's the power of now. So stop waiting for the right time. Stop telling yourself, "I'll start next week, next month, next year." That's how average people waste their lives. Winners understand that the only time that matters is today. Because today is the seed. Today is the foundation. Today is the investment. 5 years from now, you're going to arrive somewhere. The question is, where? Will you arrive at the life you dreamed of, or at a life full of regret? That depends on what you choose to do with today. Never forget, your future isn't waiting for you to figure it out. It's being written right now. With every action, every choice, every decision, don't betray your future self. Build them, protect them, invest in them. Your future depends on what you do today. And today is the only day you truly control. Most people think laziness equals freedom. They think freedom is lying in bed all day, doing nothing, scrolling endlessly, eating whatever they want, avoiding responsibilities, living without rules. But that's not freedom. That's a trap. That's slavery disguised as comfort. Because laziness doesn't set you free. It chains you. It chains you to weakness. It chains you to regret. It chains you to a life where you never reach your potential. Laziness is the prison that looks harmless on the outside, but kills your future on the inside. Real freedom doesn't come from doing whatever you feel like. Real freedom comes from discipline. Because discipline gives you control. Discipline gives you power. Discipline sets you free.
Sets you free? Think about it.
When you're disciplined with your health, you have the freedom to live longer, move stronger, feel better. When you're disciplined with your money, you have the freedom to choose your life instead of being chained to debt. When you're disciplined with your time, you have the freedom to spend it on what matters most: your family, your passions, your dreams. When you're disciplined with your habits, you have the freedom to design the life you want instead of being a victim of laziness. Laziness is short-term pleasure that leads to long-term pain. Discipline is short-term pain that leads to long-term freedom. And here's what many people don't understand. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is not restriction. Discipline is the ultimate act of self-respect. It's saying, "I care about my future enough to sacrifice for it today. I care about my dreams enough to protect them with action." Look at anyone who has achieved greatness. Athletes, leaders, innovators, artists. Do you think they were lazy? Do you think they built their future by waiting for motivation? No, they built it by mastering discipline, by showing up when it was hard, by working when no one was watching, by doing the things they didn't feel like doing, because freedom mattered more than comfort. The truth is, laziness gives you chains. Discipline gives you wings. And let me be clear, discipline isn't about being perfect. It's not about never failing, never slipping, never making mistakes. It's about getting back up every single time. It's about saying, I may have stumbled, but I won't quit. It's about building resilience, consistency, and momentum until it becomes who you are. Because discipline, when practiced daily, turns into identity. You stop saying, I need to be disciplined, and start saying, I am disciplined. And when that shift happens, freedom explodes. Freedom explodes. You don't fight with yourself every morning to wake up early, you just do it. You don't argue with yourself about doing the work. You just do it. Discipline becomes natural, and freedom becomes unstoppable. But laziness? Laziness is the opposite. The more you practice it, the more it owns you. It's addictive. The more you give in, the weaker you get. And soon you're not choosing laziness. Laziness is choosing you. It becomes your identity, and that is the most dangerous prison of all. The one where you no longer believe escape is possible, but it is possible. You can break out. You can choose discipline. You can rewrite your future. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. And the reward is freedom, the kind of freedom lazy people will never know. So ask yourself, do you want the false freedom of laziness, which always ends in regret, weakness, and chains? Or do you want the true freedom of discipline, which leads to strength, success, and fulfillment? The choice is yours. But understand this. Every time you choose discipline, you're breaking a chain. Every time you choose action, you're unlocking a door. And every time you choose growth, you're setting yourself free. Discipline is freedom. Laziness is prison. Choose freedom. Choose discipline. Choose the future you deserve. Choose the future you deserve.